Yeah. Thing with pit bulls is they're good dogs, but they're capable of a lot of damage.
They could just flip the script. I've seen it with my dog.
Yeah, and dogs will do that, but it's like what kind of damage can they do, type of a thing, because their jaw strength is like it was made to deal with bulls, like to crack a bull skull if it needed to. So they're strong, so they can really mess someone up. Reggie's a quarter pit bull, but
Does he act like he has pit in him, or is he soft?
not well. No, he's good. I don't know. I've met a lot of good pit bulls though, so a lot of it is about how you raise them and stuff. I think you need to be a certain kind of person to make sure that dog doesn't turn out the kind of dog turns out good. But he's got a little bit of, you can see a little bit of the shape of his nose. Got a little bit of the wideness to it towards the end.
Yeah.
Kind of has a pit bull feature, but otherwise you wouldn't know that he's got any pit bull in him. Or Rottweiler for that matter. He's got about 11% Rottweiler. So, but mostly golden doodle. Oh, I did not sleep well last night. Tired.
I bought some earbuds and I cannot find the ear tips in the box. Do you think that stuff gets packed manually? Probably not, right?
It might be, but
Like,
there's usually quality control and all that. So
I can't find the earbuds at all.
exchange them.
I mean, I already opened it.
Well, that doesn't mean anything. Where'd you buy them?
Best Buy.
Well, Best Buy will. I mean, if you go up and say these weren't here, here's the package. Give me new ones. They'll
The thing is, what's the probability that and when I say
you're talking about the little foam piece,
the extra tip, yeah. So they're supposed to give you an assortment, right? So if the default ones that are already attached to the buds don't fit securely, then you have like a small and a large.
Yep.
I don't see it, and then I Googled other people, didn't see theirs, but then they found it because it's in like a section that's easily overlooked.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't see it. I unpacked my earbuds on the kitchen counter. Then I took the charger that I recently unpacked from the box, and I brought it over to my bathroom from the kitchen where everything was staged. And then this morning, when I went to look for the extra tips, I don't see it. I went through my garbage can. I don't remember throwing anything in the garbage can, but I went through the garbage can anyway. I don't see anything. There's no evidence of any wrappers from that box. Everything's on the kitchen table. I don't see it. So I just went ahead and bought some aftermarket ear tips because I think it's a higher probability that I overlook something and I have no clue where it's at. Then
still have all the packaging. Go through it.
I'm that 0.000001% person that literally doesn't have the assortment of tips included in his box. I think that's a very low probability, but I don't see it. There you go, Laura.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've never had that problem. What brand were they?
Galaxy Pro or Galaxy Buds Pro 3 version 2 or something like that.
Oh, gotcha. I've been buying mostly, I think it's JLab ones. They're in the blue box there. I like that brand. But that's because I want over the ear, like the over the ear ones. They're still like right there, but they've got the little hoop that goes over your ear so that when I'm running, they stay in.
Yeah.
I think I tried running once with a pair of Galaxy Buds, and I don't think that went very well.
So you're still running?
Yeah, I got a half marathon tomorrow.
Oh,
So
okay. Okay.
yeah,
You ready for it?
well, ready as I'll ever be. I don't plan to do amazing, but I'll finish. So yeah, I ran I ran most of 13 miles on Sunday, so I can definitely travel the distance. It's a slow 13 miles though, but we'll see.
What do you think about when you're running? Or do you just numb yourself to audiobooks and music?
I'm usually listening to audiobooks or music, and then I don't know, a few times where I've had to run without something. It's I don't know, work or some sort of like problem that's in my head. I don't know that I'm thinking through. Yeah. But yeah, usually I've got an usually I've got an audiobook on or music. More often audiobooks for longer runs, unless I'm trying to like do a what do they call a tempo run or a fast run. Um,
Dude,
yeah,
I've been spending money like a politician, man. I bought a $3,000 lens for my camera. I think I'm done buying lenses now.
that's okay. You had to get another one. Weren't content with the landscape one.
Oh,
What's this one for?
the landscape one you can only use for like landscape and architectural structures
Mm-hmm.
because it distorts the wider it gets. So if it's not centered, it starts distorting, right? And then I have the wildlife lens, which is a 180 to 600 millimeter. That's cool. It's heavy to carry around. And then I bought the 35 millimeter for street photography.
Is that kind of like the standard lens that you would normally didn't it come with a standard
Um,
lens, or did you have to buy all the lenses
mm-mm.
separate?
No, it was naked. It was just the body.
Hmm.
The first lens I bought was the 180 to 600.
Hmm.
So
Gotcha.
it's an expensive hobby, man. I think I'm done buying lenses for a while though. Uh, have like $7,500 worth of lenses in the past 2 weeks. It's just three.
You're still working? Can you get fired?
No, I'm still working. I don't know if you heard the motorcycle,
Oh yeah.
but
It was very loud.
I'm still waiting to get fired. There was an outage several days ago, and they tasked me with conducting a root cause analysis. I'm an application developer slash API developer. I'm not a site reliability engineer. Like I don't mind trying to capture facts about the events that led up to it, but like I mean this isn't my expertise. They're like, yeah, we know. So how soon can you give us the report? I'm like, I don't know. I need at least 8 business hours.
Did you figure it
And
out?
then, no. So hold on, I'll get fired for this again. So a client can reach our API gateway, but then the API gateway, which attempts to forward the request to an underlying like Lambda function, speaking in
Mm-hmm.
your terms, um, because of 404. And this was going on for like a significant amount of time. And so, the business is panicking, their client is panicking for good reason. And so ultimately someone restarted the function app right? The container that hosts the lambdas,
Mm-hmm.
and then everything just started going through again. They're like, well, why? Well, I don't know. Like, I mean, I pulled up some metrics. I looked at the Lambda function logs, aka Azure function logs. I'm just trying to speak in your terms.
No, I know.
I don't see anything. And a 404 is a 404. So the logs aren't going to. I mean, I was trying to see if the logs had anything that warned about a imminent outage if something didn't change. Hey, Kevin. And I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I doubt it would be in
And
that.
I looked at network. I mean, I looked at disk IO consumption or activity for the past like month. I looked at the 404 activity for the past month, and everything was just on that day, specifically that morning of the day. I couldn't do it. I even asked Gemini, hey, were there any outages reported on this specific day by Microsoft and specifically Azure? And they said no, but the day before, yes, and the day after, yes, but not on this specific day. And I understand that a day is relative because day could span 24 hours depending if you're in Australia versus in New York.
Yeah.
But I mean, it said the areas or the servers affected regionally were Asia and I think they said like East Africa, which why would it be Asia and East Africa? Why would it be Asia, East Africa, and Europe? But whatever.
So did the application gateway record any problem details with the 404 to give any sort of reason why? Like what the origin of the 404 was, or
I didn't see it. But I am not a site reliability engineer. So it's possible that I wasn't looking in the appropriate places to identify any log entries that are stored somewhere else that may have absolutely warned of an imminent outage. I didn't see it, and I think I did my due diligence with the time that I had allocated to try to figure out how to expose that data.
Yeah, so that was I guess it'd be in the application gateway logs if you've got them. But that's what I don't like about the idea of application gateways is there's a lot of configuration for them, and there's real control over what you get. But it might just be I just might be biased because I like to code. You like application gateways? Like not a pattern, but the actual like tools that do it.
Well, the short answer, you're asking me if I like APIM or Azure API management. The answer is no. Because they have a monopoly on Azure. Like there's no alternative or competing product within the Azure space for an API gateway. It's only APIM or API management. That's the only product that's in that space. And so there's so many opportunities or there's enough opportunities for them to enhance or improve their product, but because there's no alternatives within Azure that I'm aware of, they don't. And I won't say it sucks, but there's some enhancements that are obvious, but there's no priority for them to make improvements. So
well,
no,
you can self-host
like
anything though. I mean, you can self-host any gateway that you want though, right? So
can I?
I would assume so. You just have to put I don't know what they call it, an egress or something in front of it. So you got to put you just have to route your application to it, but you can put whatever you want in a container.
It's still maintain the same tooling. So for example, so
probably it's probably a very Azure specific.
Yeah, it's in their best interest to have everything streamlined and integrated perfectly, and to not have the same user experience with competitors.
Azure APIM. Well, they put an image in there that makes it look so powerful.
I mean, it's enterprise grade. It does a lot of stuff. It's just user experience could be improved. That's all.
Trying to look at what it actually looks like to manage this thing.
You know what I do want to do though, Sean. Dude, I will go into beast mode, man. I'm Scott Nimrod, right? Like, I really just want to be a tester, but I don't want to make tester money. Like, I want to maintain the salary that I have, and I just want to go ham on exposing bugs. That's my passion, man. Like, I'm hella competitive, and so my passion is just to make sure that businesses are proud of their product. Make sure that the product always has issues, always has flaws, always has vulnerabilities, and it's not ready to ship. I love doing that. So, but unfortunately, testers, I don't think, are treated with as much prestige as developers. Yeah, I mean, one can make the argument that developers aren't really viewed prestigious either, but testers are viewed at a lower level, I think, compared to developers.
Yeah, their rates certainly lower.
But man, I would go straight gorilla. If you like Scott, I want you to participate in a bug fest for the next 8 hours, dude. I would go so in. I basically would take like 100,000 characters and throw it every single place I could accept text. like, yeah, because we don't do any sad path testing. We don't do any edge cases. All the testing we do is happy path.
Yeah, well, tests can only prove certain things work. They can't prove things don't work. But the
no, let's pause that. What you just said. Why do you believe that?
What?
They can't prove that things don't work.
Maybe I have that backwards. I'm trying to think of what the saying is, but
you said they can only prove that things work. They can't prove that things don't work.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Sorry, it's early. No, that was a quote out of a book I was listening to. I think, but it might have it backwards, and I might have just totally garbled it. But like, you can't. It's more about bug finding. You can't prove the existence of bugs. You can just prove the lack of them, or something like that. Or sorry, no, maybe it's the opposite way around. Like I said, my brain's a little fried. But basically, the idea is like you can't. You'd have to test you can't go through every possible permutation of a thing and prove something. Yeah. Like, it's just not the way you do it. And you could do that with like a formal proof. You can prove a thing to be correct. That's what it is. You can't prove it to be correct. You can only prove it to be like bug free in certain scenarios. But
in my case,
yeah,
everything's just happy path.
And it
shows. It shows. And anytime I try to lead by example and write some integration tests, I'm like, no, Scott, we don't have time. I'm like, it's already done. Well, I don't know what's happening. You gotta let me know these things. I'm like, yeah, it's a culture.
Yeah, like I like to write big and like an end-to-end test for things that walks through what the use case or the application is actually going to do with the endpoints, like what the user's actually going to do, and it's happy path. But then I like to do the edge cases when they're a problem. Although It depends too. Like if one edge case is known to be like really a thing, like I use it. I try to use tests more for documentation than to prove anything. I mean, it helps prove things, but I really like the idea of it being documentation. Like I want to say, this is, if you follow this path, this is how you're supposed to use these things. And then I just exercise all of the things in that range, and I try to put comments as to like, okay, when you're doing this, you're trying to you use this, and then you call this one to do the next thing, and then you do this to create the thing, and then.
So you dabbled with behavior-driven testing?
Maybe I'm doing that, and I don't really know that I am, because I'm not doing like.
Does that sound familiar?
I'm not doing like Cucumber or anything like that, but.
Like, so the product for .NET was SpecFlow, right?
Yeah,
and so you use the Gherkin language, and it's essentially a unit test, or maybe even an audit integration test, but it's structured in Gherkin.
Yeah, no, I don't do that. I think I've tried to do that before, but it's overly prescriptive, and it's really hard to like. I don't know. It's really hard to translate that. There's so much stuff where you're like, how do I write this? But what I try to do is write it now from the perspective of a front end engineer that wants to read a spec on how to accomplish what they're trying to build. So I want to get to the point where the test I document, do this flow, and that's how you're going to implement the feature on the front end. And then I just give them the test, and they look, oh, okay, I call this one, I call this one, I call this one.
We have no bugs, only features, says Gamblor.
Yeah. But then I'll also like, I like using it for documenting anything dynamic, like that's very dynamic. Like if you use reflection for things, or if you make an assumption about something, like, or you have, let's say you've copied some code and they need to be in sync, but there's really no good way to remove that duplication, or you don't want to remove the duplication for some reason, but you need them to always be the same. Like you can document and test basically the assertion that these two things are the same, so that it's more communicating to the next developer when they change X, here's the other places you need to change it, which is why I like match functions in C#. I like making match functions in C# with exhaustive
pattern matching.
Well, yeah, exhaustive type checks or pattern matching. Yeah. Because it's like, if you add another condition, everywhere that you need to check. There's no guessing as to what's using it. So I just wish you could get that in C# by default. Would be mint. But I suppose you can't really do that with like, unless you put in real unions, which I think union types are supposed to be coming in C#. It's like discriminated unions are like the #1 requested feature.
Why? Well, I don't understand why. I mean, I think I do understand. They're locked into C#. The business won't flex on entertaining other languages within their organization. And so, because an organization is resistant to F#, because everything's written in C#, then the developers ask Microsoft to add more F# features to C#.
Yeah, they didn't add it this time.
I wonder what would happen if Microsoft sunsetted C# and said, from now on, we're going to go all in on F#.
There's too many uses for. There's really too much uses.
I know. I'm just saying, how interesting would that be?
Yeah.
Do you think there would just be a mass exodus?
Maybe. I assume that some people would go to Java and.
Think about it. They sunsetted VB or VB.net.
Yeah, but C# their flagship. I don't know why they would. unless suddenly something changed and it's not their flagship, but it is their flagship.
Yeah. I know. I'm just saying I'm curious what the cause and effect will be.
Yeah. I don't know. Probably half people would move off to Java or pick up a
No,
different
they
language.
wouldn't. No, they wouldn't, because they would have to learn the IDE. Well, maybe not, because the common IDE would be Visual Studio Code, right?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much everything. Although I don't really know what people in the Java ecosystem use nowadays, if they're using Eclipse or NetBeans or whatsoever.
That's a huge paradigm shift from
IntelliJ
Visual
probably,
Studio.
maybe IntelliJ.
Eclipse is a Eclipse and IntelliJ is a huge paradigm shift from Visual Studio for me.
VS Code is a bit of a shift too. There's
Yeah, but
slightly.
it's also mainstream across languages.
It's a terrible editor for C#. That's all I know. It's awful. It's not as bad as it used to be, but it's still compared
What
to
you know
like,
about that NetBeans? I like
they put
NetBeans.
yeah, NetBeans was way better than Eclipse. I hated Eclipse the little bit I had to use
IntelliJ
it.
or probably Visual Studio Code. Some Eclipse still is used.
IntelliJ is like that's the same people who make Rider, isn't it?
Yes.
And ReSharper and all that.
What's the name of the organization though?
Why am I spacing on it? I guess they're a Russian company, JetBrains.
Yeah, JetBrains is good.
I think someone said they were.
Are you still dabbling with AI on the weekends?
No, well, I've never really dabbled much with AI, just a few weekends here and there.
Can you finish revising my book?
No, probably not. Too much of an undertaking. I've got all my other projects that I'm gonna never finish that I want to work on. It's funny, like a lot of times I'll think of like these great ideas for projects, and then I sit down to actually try to work on it, and I'm just like 10 minutes in, I'm just like, I don't want to do this.
I wanted to put together a short movie. When I say short movie, I'm talking about like 10 minutes. I purchased a book that I started reading. I purchased the book several days ago, but I started reading it last night, called How to Shoot Video That Doesn't Suck. And it's a very popular book. You know, I've already learned some things. Of course, I haven't really shot video with my camera yet. My camera can do almost everything, man. It is a highly rated camera, highly praised. I got 2 tripods now, 1 miniature, one tall. What should my short film be on?
There used to be a short series about software development. Make up characters. You can just write short episodes. Like, have you seen the viral sensation Chit on either YouTube or well, I guess he's pretty much everywhere now, but I think he was TikTok originally. Small improv group that put this together, I think, but I don't here, I'll send you a clip to play. You should do something like this.
I'm going to enter a film festival.
Hold on. Here, I'll send you this. Structured settlement, and shot it to you in chat. No,
maybe I could just make a highlight clip with music, and maybe that could be my first project to start learning basic fundamentals of video editing.
But do you have a video editing program figured out? And then do you have a?
Nope.
You might need to get a desktop PC, man, to power that. Video editing is consumption heavy on resources. It needs a lot to not suck dealing with, because you're dealing with a lot of data. But
I can't do that on my MacBook that
you probably can.
Development. I don't even know the password to my MacBook.
You probably can. I just know, like, historically, because you have to render video in the end, so everything gets rendered. All the frames get rendered, so it's a pretty intensive process to do.
What did you just send me? Hold up.
I sent you an example of the short type of skit videos you should make and publish. Yeah, Gambler's right. It's you're trying to put together you should share that one if you're watching it. That was a skit that got everyone interested, and then there's a bunch of other funny ones.
So from what I learned from the book, I already see an anti-pattern in this video.
It's funny though. It's funny as hell. It's a shot for TikTok, I believe, though. I want to say.
Gambler says, well, to get started, a laptop may be fine, but with tons of 4K footage, things start to get. I mean, I gotta spend more money, dude. I spent like $10,000 in the past 2 weeks on something that I don't know how to use. I gotta spend another $3,000 on a machine to process it.
No, I mean, you can get started without it. It's just if you get into serious stuff, you're gonna if you get serious with it, you're gonna want to probably get a beefy machine made for, like, custom built for the purposes of video rendering. Why the power was it the Power PC? Does Apple still make that? That was, I feel like,
if I wanted to get into video editing, what computer would you recommend to do high quality video editing with budget not being a concern?
Given that budget is not a concern, you have the option of a pre-built, high-end professional workstation, a custom-built PC, or a top-of-the-line Mac. Each has its own strengths for high-quality video editing. Apple Mac. For many professionals, a high-end Mac is the go-to choice due to its optimization for creative applications and ease of use. Mac Studio with M4 Ultra chip. This is arguably the top choice for professional video editing in the Mac lineup. It's a compact desktop that offers incredible performance with a high core count for both CPU and GPU. It's designed to handle intense tasks like 8K video editing and rendering with multiple layers and effects. It's also known for being exceptionally quiet, even under heavy load. The unified memory architecture is also a significant benefit for video editing, providing fast access to a shared pool of memory for both the CPU and GPU. MacBook Pro with M4 Max or M4 Pro chip. If you need portability without sacrificing performance, the top-tier MacBook Pro is a powerhouse. It offers excellent performance for demanding video editing tasks and has a stunning Liquid Retina XDR display with incredible color accuracy, which is essential for color grading. The battery life is also impressive, allowing you to edit on the go without being tethered to a power outlet. High-end Windows PC. If you prefer the Windows ecosystem, a custom-built PC or professional workstation will give you the most power and flexibility. Custom-built PC. With no budget constraints, you can build a machine with the absolute best components available. This approach offers the most power and future-proofing potential, as you can upgrade individual components as technology advances. CPU. A top-of-the-line multi-core processor like an Intel Core i9 or AMD Ryzen 9 is essential for fast rendering and multitasking. More cores and threads
man, you're costing me too much money. I gotta let you go.
And then we need to get you an Adobe license so you can use
I've been told
Final
that
Cut
before.
Pro or whatever it is. What's the Adobe video one? Is it Final Cut Pro?
Oh, you mean DaVinci Resolve?
Or is it DaVinci Resolve?
No, I was joking. DaVinci Resolve is, I think, for photo editing. I'm not sure which one. How much is a Mac Studio?
I don't know. I was trying to figure that out, but it was like, it brought me to a pre-order page.
I've never even heard of Mac Studio. Have you?
I just learned about it today. I was looking at the image of it when you brought that video or that thing up. So, but there's a lot of like free video editing you can use to get like, if you're not used to it or haven't done much with it,
So
there's some decent options out there for
it's a
once just get started.
$4,100. It's a $4,100 machine.
Yeah, and that's only if you get seriously. You don't need it to be like to do it.
Oh, I'm serious. I'm
It's
so
like
serious.
it's the optimization bit, right? So but that's if you want like, and it depends on what's like what quality you're looking for too. So
I want the best of the best. I'm Scott Nimrod.
you can go shoot a boats and hose video.
This is literally just the box. There's no monitor.
Yeah, you have to buy that separate. Apple's expensive, man. Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now.
Sean, you're not interested in photography or videography and processing? You don't want to make a short film or learn how to make a short film? You don't want to make rap videos?
No, well,
Sounds like no.
I thought about trying to do like a web series before, because I think there's potential for a lot of fun you can do with web series, but I think you need a group to do it with. Like what are you going to do a video on? So it's like, if you want to do like like almost like a TV show, you need actors that want to do the work. So you need like a group, or you have to pay people.
I'm more interested in having the skill set so that I'm employable after they sunset my career as a software engineer.
Yeah, but a lot of video stuff is getting replaced by AI, right?
I don't think so.
You haven't watched enough Sasquatch videos then.
I don't think that's going to be coming for another 10 years for it to be mainstream AI generated content that's commercial grade.
You have a web series. It's called Masterminds. True. There you go. You can go through all of our backlog of all of Masterminds and create a supercut
Of Scott complaining.
of just Scott going, ah! And then you just have that going for like 3 minutes. Then if you could up the tempo, you could make songs with it.
Your wife is going to think something's wrong with you. I saw that video of that Charlie Kirk shooting. Did you see the actual video?
Yeah. No, that hit me hard.
It was lights out, dude.
Yeah. No, I literally about 2 minutes after it happened, I picked up my phone and I was looking at Twitter, and there it was right there. Which it's sad. It's really super sad. I watched a lot.
The killing part is
time, but
the killing part is no pun intended, was supposedly he made it to the hospital and he was in critical condition. But when I saw the video, that dude was dead. Like there is no way that much blood can come out immediately.
Yeah,
and he gets to the hospital and not be dead on arrival. No way.
Yeah, no, there wasn't. It was his carotid artery got severed basically. So somebody said it was basically like you've got damage immediately, and then you've got like 3 to 5 minutes is as long as you could possibly live with that kind of injury. So, I mean, that's as long as it would take to get him to the car. He's probably dead. So, I don't think there was any chance he was going to make it through that. You know, I think I was hoping at the time, like, because you just don't know. Like, Trump's ear bled a lot, and that was just a minor graze. So, but this was like, yeah, you see it, and you can't unsee it. It wasn't. I don't know. That ruined my last 2 days have just been thinking about that.
Really?
Yeah, it's I don't know.
I mean, I think it would have bothered me and stayed in my head, the graphic replay involuntarily in my head. If it was like a headshot, that probably would have stuck with me and bothered me.
No,
I mean, it was still graphic.
It was basically a headshot. I mean, it was.
No, it was a neck. His neck blew out.
Yeah. Well, Well, is your neck part of your head, I suppose?
Yeah, it wasn't brain matter. It wasn't like you didn't see any holes in his neck. At least not with the video that they showed. But like, it wasn't like a JFK headshot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So JFK, he had his skull blown out. So
yeah, it's morbid, but yeah, I don't know. It sucks. I just can't believe they haven't caught the guy yet. Like, how does that happen with all the technology and tracing that we have on people and like?
I mean, they have
everything.
They have photos and videos of them.
Yeah, but we still haven't caught him. Like, you have an entire nation basically on the hunt. There's $100,000 reward, and
yeah, maybe someone is waiting for that 100,000 to go to 1 million before they pick up the phone.
Yeah, how long did it take us to find the Boston guys? That wasn't that long. I feel like there was about as much recording.
I think within 48 hours, it was like a shootout or something.
Yeah, well, his brother did, and then there was a chase in a neighborhood, and then he was in a boat. Their guy.
No, it was a shootout involving both of them. He ran over his brother to get away.
Oh, I thought that he.
They were together, dude. He ran over his brother, killed his brother to get away from the police during the shootout.
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks of this kind of stuff because I don't know. Did you see the girl in the was it the subway or the bus or whatever?
Yeah, I was trying to watch the actual video of that, but I can't find the actual video.
Well, just spend 5 minutes on X, like at all, you'd find it. It's yeah.
You know what I'm confused about? And that was an adult, right? That lady?
Yeah.
On the train?
I mean, she was a young woman, but she was definitely not a child.
Yeah, so here's something that's not popular that I'm going to say. It's pretty effed up what I'm about to say. All right. The first thing I thought about was why wasn't she on the front lines? Why all the other men that were her age were kidnapped and put on the front lines to be shot and maimed. But she wasn't. She basically had the what's the word I'm looking for? The freedom to travel to the United States of America, which is almost every immigrant's dream from third world countries, and live a peaceful life here, while everybody else her age that has a penis is forced to leave their families, their children, and die on the field. That's the first thing I thought about. It's like, damn, that's unfair. That if you're a female, you get to go to the United States of America, but if you're a male, you are forced to to die in the field. That's the very first thing I thought about when I saw that story. It's pretty effed up. My thoughts, son.
I think I would put it this way: is
I mean, why
at
wasn't
the
she
point
used to
that
support the? Why wasn't she drafted to support the military effort? Obviously, she's too small and weak to walk around with gear to shoot people. But why couldn't she be used in a non-confrontational, like whether it's cooks in the kitchen? I know that sounds silly, but why was she used to support the military effort? Why do women get a free pass when they're military age and they get to just hang out in the United States, go to bars, tear the club up? Yet the men there that are just now exploring life as an adult, they're condemned to death and maimed. Like, that's not right to me at all. That's the very first thing I thought about when I heard about that story.
I mean, I don't know the backstory of I don't know the backstory of us taking in Ukrainian refugees. Like, I guess I wasn't sure, didn't really know that we were taking many, but
women, Ukrainian refugees, not men.
Yeah, well,
they're condemned because they have a penis and a ball sack. They're condemned to death, but the women can come over here and live the life.
Honestly, like in my mind, that's the way it should be. There should be no such thing as a male adult refugee at all.
Oh, so you're saying that women, obviously they don't have the strength of a man, but you're telling me that instead of supporting the military effort, driving trucks, loading docks, whatever, no, they get to come to the United States and hang out at parks and go to bars. And really,
Yeah.
That's the best interest of the country, of Ukraine, or of any war-torn country, is women pretty much can go to Dubai or United States, and the men, they just have to wait to be killed? No, that's not right. It's not.
I
support the effort, support the military effort. That's all I'm saying. We could agree to disagree, but
yeah,
obviously, like that sticks with me.
Like, you know, and this could come off as sexist or whatever, but as long as whoever the dominating like group that's in power, I mean, or has the ability to affect power, it feels like that's the way. And this is just, maybe this goes back to just general, like our roles in biology. I don't know, but there's something about the fact that traditionally, and there's a lot of women who have fought in the Ukraine conflict too. There's a lot of, like, you know, I guess you'd call them badass women who do that.
When you say a lot, what percentage means?
I have
a
no
lot?
idea what percentage is, but they're probably not forced to volunteer. Yeah, I'm saying, like,
because 1,000 women may still be like 0.01% of the men that are forced to fight, with emphasis on forced.
Yeah, well, it's, so you've heard the adage, like, you know, strong men make good times.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, well, they don't say strong people make, or strong women, or strong children. Like, it's strong men, right? Or and weak men, and and the politics of the world and these conflicts pretty much live and die by men, and we carry the burden. But is it like the natural role is to be the protector? I don't know that
I think we're talking past each other. What my argument, and maybe you can help me understand, is why is she here in the United States, a privileged country, a country of opportunity, where I totally see Ukrainian women, even here in Miami, they're living a civilian lifestyle. They're out shopping at the mall. They'll be at the bar or the nightclub, while their boyfriends and husbands are getting gunned down. Why are they not supporting the military defensive effort in Ukraine? whether it's working at a factory, whether it's whatever that means, that doesn't necessarily mean picking up a gun, but supporting the defense effort of resistance. Why are they not over there? That's what I need help from you understanding.
Well, I guess you could say that of it. Why is there refugees ever? Then is the question that you're asking. It's could be just children. I don't know at what age this has been going on. I don't know how old she was. Maybe she was a child when she came over originally, and now she's
the war is 3 years old. So,
well, somebody's 16 and now they're
here's the difference. There's refugees everywhere, yes, but if the United States continues to take my money and your money to pay the politicians and the military commanders or personnel in that country, they're taking our money and they're putting it in the pockets of the politicians and government officials and military personnel over there. Okay. They're also taking our money, right? And I would imagine bringing the women over here to live with us. Why are they not using those women over there to support the effort? I'm sure I said that in 5 different ways. I don't understand why women, instead of coming here and living a civilian life that's peaceful and mingling at malls and going to bars, why are they not over there? And they're taking my money and your money and continue to send it over there for that same effort. I don't understand that. You understand now what I'm trying to ask?
No? Yeah, I guess there's just a perspective there about the roles of people in society and like, I guess, like I said, I think it's probably you call it a burden or a privilege, but like when people say, you know, when I guess liberals, make fun of, or woke people make fun of, you know, the idea that men have a certain role in society or whatever. It's the minute the bullets start flying, they would learn why that we have that role. I think it's because like they want equality until they don't. Like, why do women not sign up for the selective service in the United States? But I don't think they should, by the way. This is just saying, like,
they absolutely should.
We can't have it both ways. It's like
they're voting for personality instead of policy, and then when it comes down to going to war, they're not held accountable for who they voted for. That's my argument. They get to come to the United States or come to a privileged country and live the lifestyle that they have privileges to. That's not right. If you can actively participate in selecting the politicians that can decide to go to war, you should be supporting that effort, not fleeing to another country. That's my argument.
Yeah, so you're basically just saying there should be no such thing as refugees at all. Now, what do you think about children?
No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if your government is sending money for the military efforts, meaning they're taking your money and my money out of my paycheck, out of my kid's mouth, out of my fund of disposable income or a future surgery that's imminent that I have to have, and they're giving it to the politicians and military personnel in that country to support a war effort. But then they take in the women from that country that are citizens of that country that voted for the policies that potentially got them in war. I'm not sure if that's true, but voted for policies that could have contributed to a war over there. Why do they get a free pass to dodge their responsibility and come back over here and live a civilian lifestyle, go to the bar, go to the mall, while people are getting maimed and killed over there? Why are they not supporting the war effort, working at factories, doing whatever they need to do over there? They voted and then they're fleeing.
Well, we don't know that they voted. I don't know what the
Women can't vote in Ukraine.
I don't know what the situation in Ukraine is. I'm guessing that they can, but
Well, I'll find out for you.
but again, it could also be the age thing. And
Can women vote in Ukraine?
I'm guessing they can. It's a modern Western.
Yes, women can vote in Ukraine. The right to vote for women in Ukraine was first established in 1917.
Okay. Yeah, so women can vote, and then when it comes down to the come down, when blood's on the line, they can flee. And yet men cannot. They will get thrown in prison, or they will get shot if they try to.
Yeah.
Meaning, what's the definition of that? When you're at war, you're in the battlefield, and then you try to escape. It starts with a D. It's amazing how I know the first letter, but I can't remember the word. Desert.
Desertions, yeah.
Yeah, so women can desert, even though they put in
thing.
Huh?
So you're saying
when you vote in a politician, and then the consequences of that politician is war erupts, and then you bail out and leave that country while the war is still going, that is desertion. It is.
You got
I don't mean to be talking down to you, but like,
yeah,
you got like
three different things going on here.
Okay.
Because there's the payment, like in a country like who contributes to funding, I guess, a war effort, and only funding. Like that's a question of whether you should do that. So are you saying that if we weren't funding, that it'd be okay to take in the refugees? Because then we could just, if not, then we could just eliminate that argument entirely, because it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. They're like,
all right, let me try to answer your question. Can we go in reverse order? And I'll still try to answer your question. Well, the first part is, if you vote and then your country goes to war, you should not be you shouldn't be allowed to leave the country. Else, you should be within very close proximity of that country in a safe area. But you should still be held accountable for supporting the defense effort.
So if you choose not to vote, even though you've got the right to vote, does that change it?
Yep, it changes, absolutely. Yes. If you don't vote, then you decided to be neutral.
So how do we know that any of those refugees voted? It's definitely kids. The other thing is
you're a registered voter,
yeah.
And when you cast your vote, I'm pretty sure they ask for your first name and last name, right?
Well, unless you're doing mail-in ballots in the United States, then you could just send in whatever the hell you want. But
okay.
I think this goes to just like get rid of all the political overtures and just return to like a basic human society type thing, or a human thing. Like, men are the people who are the guardians or the war makers, and I don't think any dude wants his wife or children to be in that situation.
I didn't say on the battlefield. I said supporting the war effort, whether it's in factories, in the kitchen, whatever it means to support your troops. Well, because look, when I saw that video, when I saw that train video, and I didn't see the explicit part, I was looking for it, I couldn't find it. The first thing that registered with me, right, and obviously, like, it's a tragedy what happened to her. I'm not diminishing that. I'm effed up because the first thing I thought about was the war in Ukraine and why is she in the United States. The first thing I saw in that video was her walk onto the train, and immediately, I'm not sure if she walked onto the train with her smartphone out and she was just glued to her phone, or she pulled it out when she sat down. But she was just glued to her phone, like most women in Western society. And that's the first thing I said. It's like, man, she's surfing social media. Why is she a refugee? Why is she out here in the United States while her brothers, while her uncles, while all the men are out there, again, being maimed and being shot, and potentially she's just on her phone surfing social media or TikTok? How is that even allowed? Why is she over there? Well, that's the first thing I thought about.
There's two different things going on there. So that could have been any random person, white person, that sat down there.
Yeah, I agree with
That could have
that.
been
Yeah.
so that like there's you could separate the fact that she's a Ukrainian refugee from that entirely. Second of all, technically she is helping the war effort. She's just got her job done at her job with pizzeria, right?
How is she supporting the war effort?
Well, here we go.
Are they taking her entire paycheck and sending it over back to
No.
Ukraine along
Well,
with
we don't
your
know
and my
that.
money?
Maybe she is, but she pays taxes, right? And who's funding the war effort?
Okay, Sean. Like, we can talk about something else now.
No, but it's just it's just sad because you don't like any life getting snuffed out like that is awful, just awful. Whether it's her, Charlie, or anybody, like the people that died in Minnesota, the senators or whatever. I mean, even George Floyd died. Like that was a tragedy, regardless of like whether it was intentional or not, or people want heads to roll. I mean, anytime someone's life's taken either by accident or through force, it's awful. It's just
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that reality double standards exist and will continue to exist, and people will pay the price for the
no.
decisions
That's how it'd be. It's how it should be. Like it's a burden. I think that us as men should bear. And we can disagree on that point, but I think
we can disagree. I don't think someone gets a free pass for voting. Like this is the whole argument of terrorists in the Middle East. They said no, green light is on civilians because civilians voted for the administration that are making these decisions to bomb our children and our cousins. So absolutely, there's a green light to go into a cafe and blow it up. Absolutely, because you chose these politicians that chose these policies that we suffer from. It's the same argument.
Well, that's assuming that you did choose. I never chose to get Biden into office. I was just part of the process.
Okay.
So if Trump would that war wouldn't have existed, and my voice. So
we're talking about in Israel like 10, 15, 20 years ago, where a 16-year-old would walk into a cafe in Israel and blow it up. And the argument was, well, these people voted for this Israeli administration and government. So, yeah, they're one of the...
probably only 50% or maybe 60%.
That's the argument, Sean.
It's a wrong argument because you don't know in a country like... If you have a free society, you'd have to have a uniform. You'd have to have a uniform.
I'm not agreeing with it.
Yeah, you'd have to have a
I'm not agreeing with it.
Block.
That's the argument of the terrorists.
Yeah, you'd have to have a uniform voting block in order for that to be true. Like, it's so weird. Like if you look at like the, I don't know, was it Queers for Palestine or whatever? That's such a weird dynamic. But it's like there are people here that are totally on your side, but they definitely didn't vote for the current course of action. And so it's like, do you try to? Yeah, it's stupid. Like just all political violence is just stupid. I don't know why we have to have any of this stuff. Like the world can just stabilize and be done.
There's always almost everything. I think almost all conflict is over a fight for resources that are finite, right?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, or ideology.
Or you just stay quiet on this one.
Yeah, he said that in Switzerland everyone's a registered voter, so you can't unregister. There's no tracking on who voted.
So, gambler in the United States, that's not the case. So, for example, as a Jehovah's Witness or someone that grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, I'm not a registered voter. There are certain politicians that I favor over others, and I'm not a practicing Jehovah's Witness. I'm not, right? I'm not a Jehovah's Witness. I'll just put that out there, but I was raised as one. And so I get to say that I'm neutral whenever ish hits the fan. And for devout witnesses, and I'm almost positive, well, maybe not, but I would imagine Mormons, Seventh-day Adventists, when it comes to a military draft, they can use the argument that they are what's the term? I can't remember the term that's used when you legally refuse to participate in war, a conscientious objector, right? And when they ask for evidence of that, well, one is you're not a registered voter, but two is you can demonstrate that there's records of you being active within your religious commitments, whether it's recorded time as a witness knocking on doors or doing a street corner, versus you just trying to lie to the authorities and say that you're a Jehovah's Witness or a Seventh-day Adventist to dodge going to war or the draft. But it sounds like in Switzerland, they don't care if they don't care about your religion. That's what it sounds like. Have you ever heard of the term conscientious objector?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They talk about it in certain circles, but yeah, no, it's a thing. I think in the military, you can actually express yourself as a conscientious objector, and then you get treated differently, or you can do different jobs or something.
Be a cook. Yeah, there was a movie on World War II when the Americans were invading Iwo Jima, and there was a movie about a conscientious objector. I thought he was Mormon, and so they still sent him out to the battlefield, but he refused to carry a gun. Instead, he worked as a medic, and so yeah, they still sent him to the front line, but he was scooping up bodies and bringing them back to work on them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, gosh, didn't they do I think that was a, is it Hacksaw Ridge? Is that what it was called?
I think so. It sounds familiar.
Was that a Mel Gibson movie? I thought he did that. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, it's by Mel Gibson, so it's I think that's what it is. Yeah. But a lot of that in the news this week has just been depressing.
It's only going to get worse.
Or maybe it gets better now. I think sometimes when you see these kinds of big events hit the national psyche, things tend to people come closer together rather than there's obviously people who go further apart, but I feel like in the end, people go, why are we doing this? I feel like everything could be solved if you just sat down with people and actually talk to them. We all have more in common than we have in different. It's a lot of it is just ideas that people get in their head through just being on. I try to tell myself that after seeing the Charlie Kirk thing, it was I'm just here. I'm in my house. I've never met this guy. It's tragic and stuff, but it's you try to enter yourself. But, I don't know. You still there? You're totally frozen.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm trying to look for the video.
Oh, I found it in 10 seconds. I looked for it.
Well, all the videos I see are from news outlets, and so they're not showing the graphic part. Here, I think I may have found it.
If you just search for that, her first name full, you'll find videos of it. I don't recommend watching it. It's pretty sad. Like, I don't know. I wish I hadn't have seen it. Like, the image was enough, but the video, like, I felt that too. Like,
I don't see it.
Back in when I was even in
Never
back
thought I would have to shoot a fish.
once it was back in the day when in Iraq, when those people were getting beheaded, the journalists and stuff.
No, I can't. You talking about Daniel Pearl?
Maybe, I don't remember what it was, but I was listening to a talk show guy at the time. I think his name was Michael Savage, and he had this bit about, like, you know, you should watch these videos so that you know, essentially know your enemy, like, and know what they're capable of, because, like, there might be these you know, you can almost romanticize war, or, you know, or just be not understand what the consequence of it is, or how people can act towards other people. And then you watch these videos and you realize that there's definitely evil. I don't care if there's motivated or what. Like, beheading to me is just an evil act. It doesn't matter who it's to and why, whatever. It's just not good. Like, there's death penalties, which, like, if you've broken the law, you can debate that or whatever, but it should be quick and painless as much as possible. But
Why does it need to be painless?
well, I don't want people to go through pain. I don't know why we would want anyone to.
Did their victims go through pain?
Yeah, but I don't believe in the like strict eye for eye type stuff. I don't.
Do you think it would be a deterrent?
A deterrent? Maybe.
I mean,
that's the idea behind it. But
what's the point of the death penalty? Is it supposed to be a deterrent?
I think it's supposed to take someone who, honestly, I feel like it's the goal is to take people out of society that have forfeited their right to live in it. And that's basically a consequence of doing something morbidly evil, like you know, cold-blooded killing. And like there's a world where, like, if somebody gets in a heated argument and they're fighting and they lose their mind and they shoot someone, like, and they kill them, that's different than, like, in this case, like with the girl in the subway. Like, she was minding her own business. She just got on and just went in, and I don't care, like, if the guy was cracked out or what. It's like, that's just not something you do. And same with, like, the Charlie Kirk thing and any other forms of violence where, you know, it wasn't in a heated thing. It wasn't a passion moment or a mistake. It was a decision. Like, those people don't deserve to live in society. I mean, you shouldn't perpetuate their genes, and you shouldn't, like, no.
No, I think depending on the killing, I think it would be absolute deterrent if there was some pain and suffering involved. Like, bring the gas chamber back, right?
I think they still have gas chamber. They've got gas chamber and lethal injection and
so
firing squad. So
if rap videos like to glorify, you know, teenagers killing other teenagers in Chicago and Memphis and Atlanta, and this is what we praise, right? And if that's popular, you know, let's start showing videos of those same teenagers after their court appeals have all expired, choking within a gas chamber. And let's see how much that continues to get glorified when we start seeing the actual pain and suffering of these people that are glorified for taking lives.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Let's bring.
okay.
Let's have some Sharia law in the United States that's filtered to certain offenses.
Well, it's yeah. It's like if you take, like I said, it's a very fine line. Like I said, I think the death penalty should be reserved for people who are cold-blooded killers. Like that's what it is, and that's it. Like I couldn't see putting.
What's a cold-blooded killer though? Like
I said,
you talking about a serial killer, or you talking about someone that comes home on their lunch break and they find their wife in bed with their neighbor?
That's not cold-blooded killing.
Yeah,
like I said, so. there's a like if you kill someone in the heat of the moment, like that's a mistake. That person might not be a threat to society. It's just like people make mistakes, and it's like there's plenty of people who have murdered people who go on to atone for that and live with that as a burden every day, and they make up for it, right? That's different than people who are sociopathic and or they decide in cold blood that they're gonna whack someone. It's a different like thing. That's why the term cold-blooded killer exists. It's a different class than that warm, like hot mistake. Like any one of us could probably accidentally kill someone in the heat of the moment, like or just whatever. But we're all capable of it. But not all of us are capable of deciding one day to just like, I'm just gonna go and do this to people or do this to someone. And that is a difference. So,
I mean, that's why there are different degrees of murder. First,
manslaughter. Yeah, like manslaughter is a totally different thing. Like there's no intent to do it. You just through your own negligence or actions cause it to become a thing. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's a morbid thing to talk about on a Friday after a tough week of seeing people get killed on repeat on frickin' the internet. Actually, the sad thing I heard was that his kids were in attendance. I think his wife and his daughter, at least, I don't know. I assume his son was in attendance too. And I don't know if this is true, but there's at least this perpetuation that she was just trying to run to her dad after it happened, not because she knew it happened, the daughter, but that she was just scared of the noise and the chaos that ensued. So I don't know. I think as a dad, you can get caught up. So what do you think about extension? Just try to
extension methods.
Well, they added extension. Gosh, what is it? Extension members, extension blocks. You can create extensions that are properties now. Finally, static extension properties or whatever.
I thought they've been had that for C#.
No, you could only make methods before. Now you can make static extension properties. They finally cracked it. It's a new keyword too. So,
well,
C#
was that a serious question? I think it's
I'm looking forward to using it.
What's a good example of someone wanting to add an extension property?
What's a good example?
Yeah.
Well, just like the same that you would have for extension methods, you want to provide some sort of like extension onto like a interface, like capture function, but still call it like some sort of function, but still call it like a method. Literally, I guess with that, you could probably add like a .new static property to every thing that has a parameterless constructor. That'd be kind of neat.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure like as I'm forced to continue to write in C#, I'm sure I'll find a lot of cases for it. But I mean, I can't use it anyway because my organization, they're still stuck on C# 8.
8?
So, yeah.
8? Like, oh, it must be on regular .NET then? Like, no, well, 8?
Maybe C# 10. I don't know. It's one of them. I just know that
8's like
the question was
like we're on
So-
14 now.
So I had a conversation last week, and it was like, Scott, see if you can use an extension property, right? Like this literally came up last week, and so then I try to pull up some documentation on the syntax, and then I noticed that I thought it was only supported in C# 10 and up.
Extension
and-
properties are just brand new. Like you could never do an extension property before, unless you're meaning something else. Like C# 14 added the ability to do extension properties, which is the current, like newest, latest version.
Is it .NET? Is it .NET Core? What .NET Core is in low numbers. It's like 3 right now, right?
.NET Core is it's just .NET now, and .NET's at 10.
All right, so maybe it was .NET 8 that my organization is on.
Well, yeah, Net Core 8, but yeah, like you can have it as your runtime, but I think C# you can upgrade to a different language runtime.
No, they're not going to upgrade. They take whatever the default version of C# is on .NET Core. Or
Yeah, I don't know what the minimum version is.
I think we're on .NET 8, and the extension properties, from what I remember last week, was on .NET 10.
No, it's .NET, or it's not even in .NET. It's C# 14 has extension properties.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever .NET has for I don't know. I just know it wasn't supported for the Visual
it
Studio
wouldn't
session
be.
that I had.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll probably require .NET 10 to run, but yeah. Start a business yet, so I can come join you and
No, I'm serious. I want to put together like maybe a 5-minute film so I can learn how to produce video content and edit it. I think that's a really useful skill that will open up opportunities for me, even if it's for like tech conception, or even this channel. I probably wouldn't do it for this channel, but maybe for a tech conception, I probably would.
Beach Mobile
and it's employable.
Beach Mobile promo video.
I like the commercial we did with Beach Mobile 3 years ago. I like it. I wish I could learn from it.
Yeah. Have you thought about getting your drone operator's license?
Hey, I see TC. Hold up for a minute. TC! TC! TC!
Someone honked.
Can't see. Can't see. Hello. Can you still hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
I seen someone I recognize on a motorcycle. What did you just ask me?
Oh God, I don't. Oh, I was asking about your if you Ever thought about getting your drone operator's license so you could do more fancy stuff with drone video?
Nah.
I
don't
guess
care
it's a
about
drone
that.
pilot license. My brother got it. So like if you've ever watched like realtor videos where they do like a drone video of the property, most of those people would be drone pilots. So it's like you get your drone actually has like a transponder and it gets registered with the FAA and everything, so they can track it. Not like the small drones, which have to be within your site or whatever like that.
I'm just waiting for the next
Big one.
I'm just waiting for I'm waiting on the news for someone to do a Ukrainian drone style killing on a group of people, whether it's protesters. It's going to happen within the next 24 months. It's going to be a drone that flies overhead in front of a group of people. They're doing this in Haiti right now. I'm just waiting for it to be the first United States drone bombing with like a DJI drone. But not that I wish that. I just know it's imminent. But here's the new lens I bought.
Oh, nice.
This thing.
That's your 35, or is that?
This with the camera weighs like freaking probably like 7-8 pounds, man. This thing is heavy.
That's how you know it's good.
Okay.
There's a correlation between heavy things and quality things.
Build quality. Yeah. I was trying to experiment with because I want to get into street photography, and I know that if I really want to get active and learn the art of street photography, I probably should always have a camera with me at all times when I'm outside. So I experimented with like throwing this in the bag and throwing this bag over my shoulder while I'm on my motorcycle. I think it's heavy, man. And I realized I can't really put holes on the back of my motorcycle if I have this bag. Like, then I have to have them like put the bag on, and that takes away from their experience of feeling light and free on my bike. So I don't know how I'm gonna make this work.
I'm gonna get some big saddlebags.
I know that's gonna make my bike look dorky though. I like the way my bike looks.
Just get a dorky bike. A separate dorky bike for when you want to carry your camera on.
Yeah, but I want to carry my camera every time I go outside. I don't know when the perfect shot's gonna happen.
Man.
Nice. First world problems.
Yeah. I suppose it's time to hit work here.
No, I don't want to go to work.
Truer words have never been said.
I don't want to work. Sean, so you were taking me away from not thinking about work, man. But all right.
Well, we could chat longer if you want.
No, that's fine.
I'm not super thrilled right now. I'm working on. You ever get into something where you're like working on a piece of code and you're like, this just feels off, like where it's located, like architecturally, how it should be structured. Like,
yeah, I did it yesterday, and then I submitted my pull request, and then they rejected my pull request, confirming what I was thinking. I was using reflection, and I was basically an entity that was mapped to a database. I was going through every single property value pair to decide to evaluate each property value pair within every single record because of some business rule that they wanted me to do at the API layer that was a consequence of a bad database design. So anyway, yeah, I didn't mean to take over what you were saying.
No, mine's more like boundaries aren't clear and you know that this doesn't belong here. And so you move it, and then like, you know that there should be another boundary, but people don't see what you see. And I don't know. I'm struggling with my project right now because it's kind of like I was asked to do. We were kind of asked to work in an area that isn't the primary goal of what our team or squad is. So it's like we're on loan essentially, and everything. I'm just like, ugh. But anyways, no,
I
I
always
can't explain it. But
so the boundary I always like just question is when you have like some enterprise solution, I always want to have traceability. Like I always want, in regards to boundaries and a domain model for some area of the business, I want to be able to document and store who made that request. And so by default, I always feel the need to leak like a user ID into some type of like business type that should have nothing to do with who requested. It has nothing to do with it, right? So like, for example, someone may query some data from the data store, but the structure that I have shouldn't care about a user ID. It should just care about the data coming from the data that relates to some business model. Do you understand what I'm trying to ask? Like, I feel the need for authorization, like leak end user details into business types. And
well, I don't know
that's
that there's
wrong.
anything. I don't think there's any. Well, so it's like in your core domain, or is it just in the application?
Let's take an example of
layers,
let's take an example of a dealership app, and someone wants to know if a car is in the warehouse. Well, a car is a year and model. Okay, my business type would be car. The properties would be year and model. But me being Scott Nimrod, I want to have some traceability and to support security considerations. And so I may have a car type that has year, model, and requester ID. That doesn't go there. It doesn't, right? Do I have a requester ID and maybe some other properties that wraps around the business type? Like that's the part. I mean, it sounds a little bit better, but it still seems wrong. Like how I want to store data about a car, but I also want to store who's requesting and who's submitting those records, such that it gets stored in the database or it gets queried from the database. I want those details.
I don't think that's outside the I don't think that's outside the goal of the domain or whatever. I mean, as long as users exist within the idea of your system, like
I think a car type should only have details about the car. It should have details about the outside world.
Well, yeah, but you're not modeling a car type though in this situation.
Well, for it to be reusable and that I don't have to duplicate code.
Well, yeah, a record can have a car type, but I mean, I guess if you're getting into database structure, that should be denormalized things. You should have a concept of a car with it.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is having a generic type called user action, and then within angle brackets T, and then that T can be the actual data that's going to be pushed into a data store or extracted from a data store. That's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head that could accommodate my need to have traceability.
Oh, so you're talking about when, so you have your domain model and you're putting a requester on. I guess I don't understand why you would do that. Like I could understand if you have an inventory request, that model has a requester on it. Like that's part of its domain model. So I don't know why you wouldn't include it there just as a native thing. It's part of the thing. And if you're tracking or restoring those requests, and whether they were fulfilled or not, there should be a requester ID on it. So I don't, I don't think that's bad. But,
so if there is a guest that just wants to query something, do I still have a requester, and that requester is not applicable? That's the value. Like,
well, you have to model that. Is it something that you can request anonymously or not?
I think the structure that I mentioned a couple minutes ago about having a generic type that wraps around the actual business type, hence user action that operates on a generic type or a type T. I think that works.
Well, I mean, it would work, but I don't know why you would. I don't know the context, because if you're doing this at the application boundary like that, you can just include it on the type that's incoming. You can create a wrapper like that you're doing, but you're essentially creating the same thing, whether you put it there natively. The only reason to put it in a wrapper like that is to just make it easier to work with, or to add extension methods.
I mean, the only other solution that I could think of off the top of my head is aspect-oriented programming, where you weave in those details later. That might be an option. Like, for example, post sharp.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's
more for cross-cutting, like logging concerns and stuff like that. Which
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Well, if all you're doing is doing logging, you just you're injecting a logger in somewhere. You can if you're doing this through ASP anyways, in your pipeline, you can just saturate, or it's not called saturate. It's not called hydrate. It's something else. But you can add that information to the context of the logger at the request scope, and then you don't have to pass it along at all.
Well, I'm not just logging, but I do want to store it. I just don't want a user ID in my model for a car. It's not.
Well, I agree that a car shouldn't have a
requester ID. Yeah,
a request for a thing should. So are you talking about if somebody adds a car to it, like who last modified this record in the database?
Yeah,
is that what you're talking? Because we've got that problem too, and I don't like it for things that don't need it. Like, if there's a legitimate reason to track who created this, I don't actually think last modified is valuable whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, if you're tracking,
I would have the event store. I wouldn't just blow out a modification or blow out the history of how something came to be. But yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so if you're doing event sourcing, I mean, if you want to know who created it, that's, I think, a part of the model. Who created the record, I suppose. I guess it's part of the data model, but you can have a data model that's different from your domain model. You just got to map it into it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you're talking about like an envelope to save to the database in the same way that you might, put an envelope around, whatever. But I don't even know that you would need to. I guess you would pass it. I wouldn't even wrap it in a generic. You could just pass it in as a separate thing to the data call, which is, I think, generally.
So here's something that in F Sharp, especially, you probably would disagree with. I like having one parameter in basically for any of my operations in my data gateway.
Well, yeah, but if you can do that with a, even with if you just put it in a tuple, I mean, you could do it that way.
Yeah, you're right.
Or a basic record. I mean, you can make a record that's your parameters to this thing. I do that pretty much a lot now because I move around a lot of request and response type models, or request and result type models. So they're all together, but technically they're just parameters at that point.
Yeah.
I hate passing whole objects to things that don't need to know about the content, because you don't know what from that object they're actually using. So it doesn't document it, and it makes it less reusable because you build a new type that's not compatible with the old type, and now you have to rebuild that function. Unless you use an interface.
On that note, I think this concludes our highly sensitive episode. Scott's hatred for women, to extension properties, to I don't know what else we talked about. Capital punishment. It's been real. You have any plans for the weekend?
Yeah, running a
You did say
half
that.
marathon tomorrow, and then I think we're going to do we bought these things to do flights of beer at places, so I guess I'll be doing that tomorrow afternoon. But the morning will be for running.
This will be how many medals coming up?
How many runs?
Medallions.
Or medallions, I guess. What will this be?
You're probably on 9 or 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This week 12.
There you go. Get that dozen, that baker's dozen.
Yeah, I think that's all of them. So, I'm assuming I counted correctly. This one was lame though. This was just literally a piece of wood. They didn't even get the metal. I mean,
How much did it cost to enter the marathon?
I guess it's interesting. The same as it did when they did a real metal one, like this one.
How much did it cost to register?
I don't know. I can't remember what Run for the Lakes is.
If it was very cheap, that's why you got a cheap medallion.
Well, no, I mean, but I think it's the same as it has been for years before.
Because I thought I paid like $160 for the Miami marathon. I think I paid that.
Registration's open already. Holy crap. I should register that if I'm going to do it. So early bird for the half marathon, which is what I did, is $60 until January 15th. So I probably scheduled it prior. So I probably paid like $50-$60. The one I'm doing tomorrow, which I think that one was kind of expensive, but it's actually like an inline marathon, but they have a running component. So I don't know if they have the prices, just whatever. It's probably like $100 or something. But I know I'm going to probably sign up for a marathon again next year.
I just missed half the comments all the comments that Gambler said. He said, "Oh yes, Trace ID across stuff are super useful. I add that to many systems." Ignore previous comment. I was thinking of something else. And then some with the concept of a refined transactions, like some databases have, where you can ask what transaction did, create, update that value. Plus, the transaction can save extra info. Yeah. On that note, I guess I should log into work now. So,
yep,
it's been real. Good luck on your marathon. Come in 300th place. Okay. And
I don't even think there's 300 people running this half marathon. So there's people doing the roller skate. I mean, there is a chance I might have to not. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I have jury duty on Tuesday, so
keep pace with the Kenyan. All right.
For the Kenyan.
I'm almost sure there's going to be like 1 or 2 Africans there.
No, this is a half marathon, but like I said, it's primarily an inline marathon, so rollerblading.
Okay.
And so there's a running component. So they send off the people who do the roller skates, and that for the half, and people who do they like skis. They're like skis, but they're on rollerblades.
Yeah.
Or blades. And then they send off the runners after that, and so. But it's a nice run. I've done this one a lot, and I like it. So
good stuff. Enjoy.
Yep, we'll do. All right, see you. Bye.
Bye, Gambler. All right.